Hi everybody, it's Tuesday again, and we're here to talk about brand new video games, just like we do every Tuesday. I am very excited this week because not only, like I said, March is my birthday month, so I'm going to keep opening these figures, but this week is actually when my birthday is, so how great is that? Got myself a little cake and everything. I was going to light the candles, but I thought that might be a little too crazy for this video, so anyway. Let's open this up real quick, see which one we got. If you don't remember last week, I got Finn, and now we're going to see who the Disney gods give me this week. Sorry. Well, I think it's a figure. Let's see, it is... Oh! I think that's Rey. I'm Rey. I am a lady who's a Jedi, and I do cool stuff. Yeah, Jedi. Alright, cool. She's going to go down here with Finn. They're going to hang out. Hey, Finn. Hi, Rey. How you doing? Okay. Anyway, top game of the week is Chocobo GP. This is a new racing game from Square Enix, set in the Chocobo franchise. It's like Mario Kart, but with Final Fantasy characters, basically. So, yeah, check it out. Might be good. Next, we have WWE 2K22. This is the latest entry in that long-running franchise. As you might know, there was no 2K21 because 2K20 was so poorly received that they delayed the game an entire year to fix it. And, yeah. Put out a new game, so hopefully it's good. It's got Rey Mysterio on the cover, who's from a town called Chula Vista, which is also the town where I grew up. So that's very nice for him and for our fair city in Chula Vista. Yes. Okay. Next we have Aztec: Forgotten Gods. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you what these are coming out on. Chocobo's on Switch. WWE is on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series S and X. Aztec: Forgotten Gods is the next game. It's a third-person adventure game. Looks kind of cool. That'll be on PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, and Series X and S. Then we have The Last Cube, which is like a puzzle game where you're a cube. You roll around and do stuff. PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. Finally, Hotel Transylvania: Scary Tale Adventures is coming out on the PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. One of those kind of platforming collectathons that were really popular on the like the Nintendo 64 back in the 90s. So yeah, someone decided to make Hotel Transylvania one of those games. Ports. Something called Stone Protectors is coming out on PC. This is a old Super Nintendo game from the 90s. I think 1994, 95 is when it came out. Stone Protectors were basically a Ninja Turtles knockoff. I don't know if you guys all remember those troll dolls with the crazy hair. They had little jewels in their tummies, and they decided to make like a boy version and called it Stone Protectors, and they were like radical dudes with like mohawks and rollerblades and shit. It didn't last, but they made a video game out of it, and somebody decided that they needed to bring that to PC. So I guess you got that to look forward to. Next we have Dot Hack GU Last Recode on Switch. Yeah, it's a JRPG. So if you're into that kind of thing, check it out. Expansions. Dead by Daylight has a new enemy coming out called it's Sadako from the Ring-U movies and novel. Dead by Daylight, if you don't know, it's like a, what do they call it? Not asymmetrical, but it's like a 3 versus 1 thing. So one person is going to be the bad guy, and the other 3 people are the survivors, and you have to like survive the night. So Sadako is going to try to like kill you, and you're trying to stop her or whatever. Anyways, that's coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Stadia, Switch, Xbox One, and Series X and S. Excuse me, I burped. The last expansion is Assassin's Creed Valhalla: Dawn of Ragnarok on PC, PS4, PS5, Stadia, Xbox One, and Series X and S. This is more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So this is supposed to be their biggest and most ambitious expansion ever made for the franchise. I don't know. They've gone way off the rails with this one in terms of like the historical accuracy or whatever. There's like magic and monsters and shit. It just looks like Elden Ring. Honestly, that's what they're trying to do. Like they're trying to like do Assassin's Creed Elden Ring. So yeah, we'll see if it works. I don't know. I think people like the game. I haven't. I only played like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours of it. It was okay. But kind of boring. Everything else, nothing else. That's it. That's all the new games. That's all the new stuff coming out. Notable titles. 10 years ago, Journey released on the PS3. A great, fantastic game. Journey is one of the best video games ever made. You are some kind of traveler walking through the desert, walking towards this big giant mountain with a light coming out of it. And along the way, you may run into another person who's also playing the game, who's on the same exact like journey as you. Like they start on the same stage or whatever, and you meet and you can work together to try to solve these puzzles to move on to the next stage. So, highly critically acclaimed game, very highly regarded by many in the video game press. Won Game of the Year at the DICE Awards. Just a fantastic game all around. You can get it on PS4 or PS5 through backwards compatibility. Great game. Check out Journey. 20 years ago, we had Mr. Mosquito, which is the one that's playing on this screen right here. It's a PS2 game where you play as like a robotic mosquito who like is sucking the blood of like some family at their summer home. It's fun. The controls are kind of funky, but what makes this game so odd is like, well, there's a lot of comedy to it. It's a very broad comedy. There's a lot of like goofy antics. Like the family's kind of crazy and silly, and the mom does like ninja moves, and the dad's like a stereotypical balding, middle-aged man. But there's almost this like voyeuristic tendency to it as you're this mosquito, because you fly around this room without the people knowing you're there, and you're trying to land on them and suck their blood. And there's like stages. There's like a teenage daughter, and she's like kind of sexualized in it, and it's a little weird. It's a little weird and a little gross, but the game's fun. It's what do they call it? They called it like a Japanese oddity at the time. So yeah, if you're into kind of weird Japanese games, you should check out Mr. Mosquito if you can find a physical copy or just emulate it. 30 years ago, Dragon Warrior 3 came out on the NES. What can I say? More Dragon Warrior. I didn't look up too much about this, so I don't have much to say, but that's Dragon Warrior. Check it out. They made a new version, came out on Switch recently. It's good. Finally, 40 years ago, a video game called Deadline came out on PC. This was a text adventure game from the people who made that game Zork. But instead of being a fantasy game, this was a murder mystery where you were playing a detective who goes to this house. Somebody's been murdered or somebody died, and you have to figure out if they were murdered or if it was an accident or something like that. It was a murder, obviously. But through text commands and walking around, it's all text. There's no images. So just moving from area to area, you have to talk to people, ask them the right questions. You have to look around, pick up the right objects, and basically learn how to interact in this text-based world. It's obviously very archaic by today's standards, but it's still a interesting enough game. I mean, you can find it online. Like you just play it in your browser through like a abandonware website, and I would recommend checking it out. It's it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun. If you like Zork, if you like text-based adventure games, then I think you'll like Deadline. So that's all I got to say about it. I'm gonna sit here and revel in being 41 while playing with my dolls. Oh, Finn, you're so handsome. Oh, thank you, Ray. You're so beautiful. Oh, yes, so kiss me. Leave me alone!